Are you recording?
Yeah, we are recording right now.
How you guys doing? Welcome back to SunnySword
SunnySword
podcast.
podcast. So look, today is an emergency episode. We're here right now. Usually when we're together, actually we recorded yesterday, okay? And we did our episodes in the room, in the studio together. But yesterday, Knux asked me if we should do we should cover something about Diddy. And I've been so disgusted with Diddy. I've been so I cannot talk about Diddy. But last night I was reading and listening to more commentary about what Diddy's been going through and what he's been doing, and it's just too much. I'm sick to my stomach, and I realize that we need to continue to spread this information because this is horrible for everybody, and we need to just make sure that people understand what's really going down. You know, um, we're just getting started here with Sunny Sword podcast, but even in the lower level, we need to let people know that this is unimaginable. And so, Nux has really been into it and stuff. And so, at first, for me, it was, the music industry rumors and stuff, related to Tupac and Biggie and stuff. Then we had the Cassie thing, right? And yeah, seeing the Cassie thing in real life, like the video and stuff, that was horrible. But it was crazy because even after about a week or something, people forgot about it. He paid Cassie some money or whatever, and then it was done. But I've been looking at this whole situation and been like, Diddy is too fucking busy. There's too much going on with him. And then yesterday, I had kind of turned off Diddy myself as well, so I'm guilty. But Nux told me that there was also things related to sex trafficking and whatnot, right? And I'm just like, what? This is bigger than I ever imagined. It's much larger than I ever knew. So yeah, man, fill us in. What's going on, man?
Basically, P Diddy's like the Jeffrey Epstein version of a black guy.
Okay.
Like Epstein controlled the politicians,
Yeah.
elites,
Yeah.
Hollywood stars.
Yeah.
But Diddy was in control of the entire music scene.
Uh-huh.
America, Canada, Europe,
Right.
Sony Records, Interscope. Bunch of famous records that we know of.
Yeah.
And what he was doing is, he will hire underage teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
which label wanted, right? So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, P Diddy was involved with Interscope.
Okay.
So Interscope brought
Interscope
underage
Records,
girls.
right?
Yeah, Interscope
Like
record.
Dr. Dre and them.
Yeah. It's like an
Yeah.
AVIX of
Right.
America,
Right.
right?
Right.
So Interscope brought underage girls, which Diddy brought.
Yeah.
And Interscope record made sure the artists will fuck the underage girls
Yeah.
and record it on camera, or whatever, CCTV or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And blackmail the artist. So they got them by the fucking balls.
So everybody's on tape. Everybody's being blackmailed.
Yeah, all the artists who was
Uh-huh.
involved with that is blackmail.
Uh-huh. Right.
So if they, ignore what the Interscope records want from the artist, they'll just fucking,
Mm-hmm.
put that at the court case or whatever.
Now, what's the advantage to this? What's the point? What's
they
the
wanna
motivation?
they wanna control the music scene,
Mm-hmm.
If you have everybody on blackmail, you could control the music scene. You could do however
Right.
you want, and the elites are involved with a prison complex.
Yeah.
That's a famous story that Ice Cube made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
At least are involved with the prison complex.
yeah. So
Tell me
like
more about that. What about that?
so the prison complex, right? So a lot of the owners of a prison complex is associated with hip hop labels and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the prison complex top guys want the rappers talk about pew pew pews and shit.
Oh, you mean like you're talking about back in the '90s when they wanted to use gangsta hip hop to get more people in the prisons?
Yeah. That's still going on right now though.
Yeah. You
So
think
those
is
people,
it still happening?
yeah, CIA
Okay.
is involved too,
Mm-hmm.
technically. So
Mm-hmm.
that's P Diddy's involved in that too. So he made sure he gets the underage girls to Interscope.
Mm-hmm.
So Interscope could do what they want with the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So they could fill up the prison with their music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Tell me some more about that.
Well, basically, the prison, if there's more people in prison, make more
Mm-hmm.
money. It's like same as a hotel. if you own a hotel business, right? You
Okay.
need people in the hotel.
Right.
Same with prison.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bunch of inmates, prison, you make money because what happened in prison is they work, whatever, and they sell the product, right? And they make a bunch of money
Right.
with whatever product they sell. Like in
Mhm.
like in Japan, like a lot of prison in Japan, they make wallets,
Yes.
like a small stuff, purses and shit,
Yes.
and that's how they make money in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So in America, there's a bunch of prison making a bunch of shit, like a factory,
Right. Right. I
right?
get that.
Yeah. So if you fill a bunch of people in prison, the factory will boom, and prison makes money, and all the elites
Okay.
makes money.
Right. So how is this connected to Diddy?
No, because the private keep stumbling and shit. The people on the top, right?
Mhm.
They own the share for the hip hop label.
Mm-hmm.
So if they make gangster music, more crime will happen. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Because the kids are influenced by hip hop music.
Okay.
So if all the artists talk about gang bang and shit, a lot of young kids will imitate that. Like Chicago is a fucking good example. Look what's happening in Chicago. It's like,
Oh, like the drill music and whatnot.
yeah,
Right. Right. But
Chicago hip.
is
Yeah,
is Diddy right now the leader of this type of
he's
thing
not.
right now?
He's not the leader, but he's involved
Okay.
because he was trafficking kids
So
to
though,
Interscope Records and shit.
right.
You get what I'm saying? 'Cause the
Maybe I'm
private-
not. Go ahead.
Okay,
Again.
Okay. The elites of the prison, right?
Yes.
Basically, they told Interscope Records, we need more people in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make gang music, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Interscope Records hired Diddy to traffic underage girls. So Interscope Records could make sure that underage girl could fuck the artists from the Interscope Records, fuck the underage girls. So to blackmail them.
I get that.
Yeah. What you don't get?
I get that part that you're saying that, but then I don't understand what's the follow up with that. So you're getting these underage girls. The artists are having sex with these underage girls. Now they're blackmailed. But then what are you blackmailing them for?
No, so they could hold up. So Interscope Records could tell them what to do, basically. Keep
Okay.
making. So Interscope Records could tell the artists keep making drill music. Don't
Okay.
talk about this. Talk about that. Just talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, they only do like gangbang drill shit.
Okay, so by blackmailing so what you're saying is Interscope Records has the incentive to put more people in prison,
Yeah.
and they work with Diddy and his team to create situations where artists are having unprotected underage sex on camera. Then
But the artist doesn't know that though. It's on camera.
by doing that, they are able to use those videos to blackmail the artists to continue to keep their music
However they want.
whatever direction they would want. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's just one example that Diddy
Okay.
was involved with Interscope.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, Suge Knight talked about this too, actually.
Mm-hmm. Suge Knight.
Yeah. Because that guy got nothing to lose. And P. Diddy was able to do this because he has fucking FBI people on his back too.
Why does P. Diddy have FBI on his back? Why would
I don't know.
would he?
I guess he got so much fucking money, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But he has,
Okay, so the thing is, like, I think it sounds like Diddy has this money right now because of these dirty things that he's doing,
and power.
basically, right?
A
And
lot of power.
you know, I'm just learning more and more about this situation more because it's just too crazy to me, right? And you know, the things that he's been arrested for right now that we got the charges are like racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, forced labor, right? And what we're hearing is that a lot of people were involved in the situation, right? You know,
Well, like
we're
French
hearing about his
Montana.
parties, right? The Diddy parties and the after party, the second part of the party, right? And right now we're hearing things about this hiring of people underage, like you told me, men, women, of whatever underage, to join these parties, etc., and to have sex, etc. And people were drugged. They found 500 dildos. They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil at these after parties and whatnot. And it's just out of control to me. I'm not really understand. And then like everybody that's been you know, Diddy is a famous guy, right? He's huge,
Yeah.
and they're interviewing hella people because Diddy's parties were some of the best parties, right? It's some of the best parties. Everybody's there that's in the industry, I guess. Beyonce, Jay-Z, whoever is there, Demi Moore, whatever. And everybody that has been interviewed says, I've been to the party, but I don't know anything about the after party. But I
mean,
had suspicions. It's kind of weird that everyone is saying that they've been to these parties, but no one's been to the after party, and yet everybody has suspicions of dirty things, horrible things going down, yet nobody says anything about it for all these years.
I mean, I bet there's an NDA signed at the party.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when you know that something is horrible going down,
I
and
mean,
you know that people are being hurt in a big way, why don't you? There has what no one speaks about it. It's just out of my. It's like
I
amazing.
mean, there's a lot of horrible people involved in Diddy's team. I mean, you know, it's like a mafia.
Of course, it has to be
You
to
know
do
what I
this
mean?
much.
It's like a fucking mafia. Like you don't want to
Right.
snitch on a fucking mafia
Uh huh.
because they might fucking kill you, right? Same thing with Diddy. I mean, Diddy's not a mafia, but it's a it's equivalent to a mafia.
Okay.
Probably they signed the NDA too. You know, like because I know you know DJ Paul, right?
No.
3 6 Mafia, DJ Paul.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So
What about him?
he has a bodyguard, right?
Yes.
Like he told me, like every time he had to do a bodyguard for artists and go to the party with him or whatever,
Yeah.
he always have to sign an NDA.
Yes.
So I bet P Diddy party had a fucking NDA.
So actually, it's interesting. Actually, in this interview that they did with Pierce Morgan, some of the guys that went to Diddy parties actually speak on the interview, and they said that actually, when you go to Diddy parties, you can't bring your own security.
I think you can't even bring your phone either, right?
I don't know about that, but you can't bring your own security. On top of that, Diddy has cameras everywhere in the party, so everything is being filmed. So,
And you know 50 Cent bought all those footage, right?
from who?
I don't know. He said 50 bought the footage and he sold it to
Yeah.
Netflix.
So Candace Owens has an episode that she just put out yesterday, actually, talking about how 50 Cent is writing a documentary with Netflix about the whole situation. Because
Right.
the interesting thing is that there's been a few people, 50 Cent, Eminem, and a few others who have been throwing out signs over the years,
Jamie Foxx.
but no one's actually speaking directly about it, just kind of, nonchalant or casually, etc. But there's been, and then everybody else says they've heard something's going on. I've heard about it. But no one wants to say the real deal. No one wants to. It's so weird because if all these people heard something is going down, if they all got together, they can fix the situation. But now, it seems like it's the opposite. Right now, for example, artists such as Usher, Pink, and other artists are editing their social media.
I heard that Usher deleted all his tweets, right?
Right.
Right? Ain't that obvious? Come on. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
go
I think
ahead.
Halsey might expose something too.
Does Halsey have that much in involvement? She's
Uh,
younger.
Hals- uh, I'm trying to remember something.
She's much younger.
Yeah, because she was sexually abused too by somebody. And I heard that Diddy might be involved too.
You know, I feel like this is interesting. This is actually quite interesting situation because what we're learning, right? We're learning that so many of the people who might be victims of the situation might be men, more than like women as well, but men. And you know,
Yeah.
in general, when there's any kind of charges like sexual charges or like any kind of like misconduct where it's like making someone a victim,
Mm-hmm.
women are resistant to step forward in general, right? But in this situation, because it seems like a lot of it's connected to being like homosexual or being gay or whatever it is, right? And in the hip hop industry, especially, you know, that lifestyle is not seen as a positive lifestyle, right? And so all these R&B artists and hip hop artists, etc., who are victims of this situation or even participating in it or even might want to speak against it, if they do, they might suicide their whole career. They might feel like they might suicide their career, you know.
Mm.
You know, in today's day, we do have, you know, actually some very famous artists who are hip hop artists that are gay or bisexual from the jump, right? Like Frank Ocean or Tyler the Creator or
No, Tyler came out recently.
it's not recent. It's like more than before. It's before coronavirus. But and then
Oh, yeah, yeah.
also
Oh, was it?
Little Nas X or something. Like these people, they are newer artists. What I'm trying to say, right?
You know what's
But
funny
what I'm trying
about?
to say is like these artists that are more legendary, right? They all came out in the '90s, right? Like Usher, right? Usher is 14 when he's meeting Diddy for the first time.
And you know what that?
You know,
You know
and
what that
actually,
means?
I think when Usher brings Bieber to Diddy
Oh
when
yeah.
Bieber is around 16 years old,
Jesus fucking Christ.
right? When Bieber's around 16 years old,
Fucking Usher, what are you doing?
or less, or less.
God damn. Yeah, I
And actually,
forgot
you know
Usher
what?
was involved in that.
You know,
Jesus.
it's actually interesting because as people make their actions known or try to make them unknown, they might kill their entire career. Um, Usher is getting celebrated just like this year, right? Super Bowl and all these things, right?
Uh-huh.
And if this might just destroy Usher, like right away,
I think, yeah, he will. Yeah, he will.
you know,
He will be
it might
destroyed.
just it might destroy him.
Justin too. He will be definitely destroyed. I mean, if you
I
look
mean,
into, if
Bieber.
you
No,
look,
but the thing is that Bieber himself, he revamped himself, right? You know, We all know Bieber. Bieber is more of a victim. Like, say for example, if we
he was a
learn,
victim. He was a
if
victim.
we learn, Usher is a victim too, but Usher also is a participant. It seems like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but if we learn right now that, because we know that Bieber had a hard time, and he revamped himself, right? He took time, he went away, recovered, he became a Christian or something, and got married. He changed everything about himself. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, there was a conspiracy theory video about the video Yummy.
Yes.
I got the yum yum.
Yeah.
So, when Justin was on live on Instagram,
Yeah.
some fast and there's the conspiracy theory about your music video Yum. Was it true?
Oh.
It's true. Scratch your nose.
Ah.
He did this.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like on the movie, not the movie, the music video Yum. He's exposing about how this ex-manager or whatever was trafficking him or some shit. I'm not sure, but there's a video about it. Somebody was explaining, and Justin said, "Yes."
Hold on one second. I cannot hear you. I lost
Can you
your
hear me?
voice. Hold on one second. Can you talk?
Yeah. Check.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's definitely a victim.
Uh-huh.
And you know, and there's another crazy story about Justin.
Go ahead, tell me.
He was dating Selena Gomez, right?
Yeah, that's how she got famous.
So, really?
Yeah, Selena Gomez put on Justin Bieber put on Selena Gomez.
God bless her. So what happened was, you know, Justin had like a mental breakdown, like drove a Lamborghini while he's drunk,
Yeah.
whatever. The reason why he did that because Gomez was actually pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, pregnant.
Crazy.
And Justin Bieber's handler or something.
Yeah.
Top guys, right? Said, if you don't listen to us, what we want you to do, you know what's going to happen. And just to completely ignore the handler, yada, yada, yada. And Gomez had the miscarriage.
Oh,
On
what?
purpose.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's why he became Catholic and he used to go to church and do Bible study. And he talked to the member about this incident.
This is insane, man. And that's, hold on 1 second, okay? I'm gonna double check something. Your audio is very strange right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me just double check. I'm gonna look at the live stream real quick. Yeah, hey, your audio is static right now. Talk. I don't hear you. I don't hear you at all right now. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Are you mute? Are you muting? Did you mute yourself? Okay. Nothing. I don't hear anything. I don't hear you at all. Check your settings in the app. In the bottom, there's like the mic. Make sure the right mic is selected. I don't hear anything. I don't hear you. You want to restart or something? Yeah, I don't hear you. Yeah, go ahead and figure that out real quick. I don't hear you at all. No, I don't hear you, man. I think you lost your sound. Real quick, we had a message from Angel right here. Angel said, Ashanti or Alicia Keys, who is more beautiful? Hard choice, both women are beautiful. Hey, Alicia Keys or Ashanti? I'm definitely going with Alicia Keys. 100% for me. Alicia Keys is definitely closer to my type, uh, all around, personality wise, and visually as well. So definitely, I'm gonna have to choose Alicia Keys. Definitely prefer the looks that she has, her character, her voice, etc., over Ashanti. But they are both beautiful. Definitely both beautiful women. So yeah, thank you, Angel, for that one. Yeah, so it's been very interesting. I'm gonna bring up while Nux is working on that situation right now. I'm gonna bring up this talk that we had with Pierce Morgan. So Pierce Morgan did a really interesting talk where he went and talked about the situation. And the whole situation is just beyond me right now. I'm just like, what the heck is going on? And it's too much to handle. It's too much for one person to digest, in my opinion. And
Check.
You're
Am I
back.
back? All
You're
right.
back, and you sound really good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What'd you do?
Magic.
Yeah?
Magic.
Hey, it sounds great. Yeah, so look, I was talking about this. Like, everybody's talking about how they didn't go to the party or they left early or whatever. And,
The only
it's
person
out of
who, the only person who was able to stay to the after party,
in the after
a
party.
small percentage of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like there's so many, right? And it's just
What's going on at these Hollywood parties? I left early. I've been to plenty Diddy parties. I left early. I'm like, when I hear about it, when did that happen? What time did this go down? Because I was there till 3:30. You mean 3:32? So they waited for me to leave? Like, all right, good. That Wayne is gone.
There's tons of videos of doing this same example right here where the people are saying
Probably he
that.
signed the NDA.
Yeah.
Probably he was paid to say that.
Right, maybe so, but I can imagine him when he's at a party having a good time, etc. Why not? But
there's a bunch of parties too. It could be like somebody's regular birthday parties.
Right.
And maybe Wayne was invited, That's just.
So, the question here, like, as music artists, right? And as, like, for me, I'm not even, both of us are not connected to Diddy at all, but all these artists are.
We wish we were. We wish we were. So we could expose this.
If you're connected to Diddy, then you probably had a great music career, or you had a decent one to an extent, right?
Yeah. With my big butthole.
Maybe you had to do that a little bit. Maybe you had to get do a little bit of that. But at the end of the day, you probably did have some amazing promotion campaigns, etc. But the thing that I'm really curious about now is, so we're hearing about all these sex trafficking, these freak offs, 500 dildos, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. People going to these huge parties, and a lot of people becoming victims. And money is being transferred, money is being made, etc., etc. This music, Bad Boy Records music, Bad Boy associated music, all that music is made with dirty money, it sounds like.
It was drug money, right?
But it's not just drug money, it's sex trafficking money. It's all the kind of money, right? And is it okay?
Was it P. Diddy's father was a drug dealer?
But look, but this is the thing, is that this is bigger than P. Diddy's dad now.
Yeah, way bigger.
It's much bigger, okay?
Duh.
And so it's like, people say, like, okay, so R. Kelly did something, and so now we can't listen to R. Kelly. We shouldn't listen to R. Kelly. Or Michael Jackson did something. We shouldn't listen to Michael Jackson. Or Bill Cosby. So we shouldn't watch the Cosby Show, or whatever it is. But this is Bad Boy Records and the associated companies with it, Timberland, etc. Right?
Jay-Z, Rockefeller,
Jay-Z, etc.
Def
Right?
Jam. Everybody. Sony too.
Should we not be? We're listening to dirty music, in a way.
Yeah, fake music.
Because all this music, even if it's amazing, like stuff that was made with Mary J. Blige or whoever it was, these people all were in the know to an extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
All of them, they're in the studio singing their heart out. At the same time, they know in the back of their mind that people are being sex trafficked. People are being molested. All these things, they know that it's happening. and it's crazy. Beyonce and Jay-Z and all them talking about,
Imagine
freedom,
Jay-Z's,
talking
Jay-Z and
about
R.
no,
Kelly's.
like talking about freedom, talking about rights, talking about women's rights, etc. Yet that people are getting drugged out, getting smashed up with 500 dildos and thousands of bottles of baby oil all over them, and then getting blackmailed, getting dehumanized at the same time. What kind of hypocritical shit is that? It's horrible, man.
Yeah, there's a video of well, Jay-Z's definitely involved, right? So imagine Jay-Z and R. Kelly's album, what they're doing behind the scenes.
It's horrible.
I mean, it's not to laugh about, but I'm like, come on, it's fucking circus, man.
I
Alright,
mean,
so
there's one
there was-
like so it's one thing to like have a party with ladies, we'll have a party with dudes, whatever it is, But when you have these other things in the background happening, like this is beyond the level of where it's okay. Like if this is happening in Japan, if this is happening in Singapore and it comes out, you're dead. It's death penalty immediately.
Not in
You're
Japan.
just killed. Huh? They don't do death penalty anymore in Japan?
Not with pedophilia, no.
This is more than pedophilia, bro. Way more than that.
So there's a video of I mean, it's kind of a sick video, but I think people should know. You know Nikki Heaton?
No, who's that?
Nikki Heaton, the singer?
Who is that?
Nikki Heaton.
Who is she?
Singer.
Okay. Yeah, but who? Like, who does she work with? What does she do?
Well, she's a singer, worked with let's see.
Like, why did you bring her up? Like, what about her?
I don't know, she recently exposed Diddy. It's in the chat. Let's watch the video. I mean, you don't have to watch it all, but
Hold on one second. All right, so Nikki Houghton, was she a singer with Diddy? Under Diddy's label?
I'm looking at her. No.
Okay.
Maybe she was about to,
Okay, because I haven't
but
heard of her.
but the shit happened.
Yeah, shit always
The
happens.
pizza shit happened, so.
Okay.
I mean, the
Pizzagate
pizza gate is flooding in real time, fellas. Also, we're doing it live, so I mean, I gotta watch what I say.
Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me, so I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hands and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip. 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like this isn't her. Like she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something.
If you're in this party and you know that the drink has some poison in it, and you know that you're about to get poisoned and your manager's about to get poisoned, aren't you going to say some shit with your mouth? Stand the fuck up? Like, not just sit there and be low key, like, oh my God, maybe she is drinking too. Like, no, but Kanye is there and Diddy is there. I don't want to die. I don't want
you
my
tell
manager to
me.
die either. You know what I'm saying?
You
No,
tell
I'm just
me.
saying. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like if you're suspicious of the drinks and you know that the drink might hurt you or hurt someone else, you might be poisoned, you might want to stand the fuck up and say something. Don't drink that. You know?
Hey, bitch, come here.
Let's go. We're out of here.
I mean,
Whatever it is.
I mean, there's a lot of missing puzzle pieces in this story.
I mean, I'm sure like you might feel like, oh, you know, we're around these amazing people, etc. But if you're like, oh, this drink has something in it, I have a vibe. I gotta go to the restroom. Manager, we gotta go to the restroom right now. We gotta go to the restroom. We gotta go right now. I'm gonna take a shit right now on myself right now. We gotta go to the restroom. I'm gonna vomit. Let's go right now. Oh, Kanye, wait, sit down. I'm gonna vomit on you, motherfucker. I gotta go. I go to the restroom right now. I'm gonna piss right now. Like, just get out, you know? But like,
But I think
no.
there's more, but she's not saying the full story.
And she starts like almost being like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. Like, she's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And the girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? So I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine. I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden,
go with her.
I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low. The lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is. I know.
Well, I don't get it. Like, okay, so you realize you're alone with all these dudes and you know that it's dangerous for yourself. Go to the restroom. Go to the restroom.
Yeah, that's why there's a missing puzzle piece in this fucking story.
You realize, or you're thinking, oh, it's my chance to be number one. It's my chance to get all the attention right now. This is my opportunity. It's one or the other, right? In my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is a bad place to be in, but I don't really feel scared yet, you know? Like, because I'm like, there's other people around. There's other men around, and I know them. Like,
no,
I've known them for a while. Like, nothing
poisoned.
bad's going to happen. And I'm standing there, and I realize that so this is like a pretty like sizable studio. There's like the glass doors, the couch there, a console, another console, the screen, all of that. But it's like, it's pretty big, but you can still see and talk to everyone easily. And I realized that I'm standing really close to the exit.
Okay, internet, stop. It's okay.
And it's a glass door, and it opens in. And I'm standing pretty close to it. And I realized all of a sudden that Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like fucked out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no,
It's getting
fine.
hot in here.
Fine, like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just like see like how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still like, okay, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but like, there's no reason to panic.
Okay, so we have to understand the baseline here, what she's telling us right now. When guys are asking her to take off her clothes and she's the only girl in the room, she's fine with that. she's fine with that because she said, I wasn't scared yet.
This bitch is crazy.
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have to understand that. If she's saying, I'm in the room with all these dudes in the studio that's really, really dark, and they're telling her, powerful guys.
But she
are
says
saying,
she knows the engineer.
Yeah, but still, knowing an engineer is not going to save your life. It's an engineer, not a bodyguard.
There's other men here. Yeah, so they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to like take my clothes off. And I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off, just like, stop, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, get out of here, like, don't touch me. Did this just freeze? Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit, and
So
I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like, seriously, this isn't funny.
Okay, so she said that her shirt is ripped off now, and she's still like in the same seat. She hasn't left the room yet. How many red flags do you need? How many red flags do you need at that point?
Well,
like
you gotta remember, she's a little bit drugged too. So
she is, but if she can recall this story, she knew that she was gonna get poisoned. Her manager got poisoned. You know, all these things are happening. There's too many chances to escape.
Anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like, we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like, if I reached and he reached too, like, we could touch. Like, he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like, I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like, step in. Like, this isn't cool. Like, you're a grown man. Like, you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family. Like, you know this isn't right. Like, do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these 2 grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's 2 more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married, and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next, and I'm like, okay, like, do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then he's like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next.
I'm sorry. How does she have all this time to look at everybody, but she has no time to stand up and walk out the door? That's right next to her.
I think she's drugged. She says she
No, I'm just saying. She's telling us this story, right?
Yeah.
And she has a door right next to her. She knows that. She's back against the wall. The door is right next to her. But she has all this time to look at these other guys to ask them to help her. But she can't stand up and walk out the door. She can't help herself. All it took she could have stood up. I'm guessing. You know?
She's not saying the full story.
And then she's saying that these guys should have done something for her. I don't know about that. I mean, they know that this is the industry that you got into, and they know the situation. They know that Kanye, Diddy, they're here. This is what happens. But I feel like her herself should have walked out the door with her manager.
And I'm like, do something, like, fucking do something.
It's like she can do something.
And he spins air around. And that's
she can do something.
when that, like, gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight.
Save yourself.
No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything. And that's when I was truly fucking scared. At this point, they had ripped my shirt off and they were trying to get my pants off. And I realized that I was completely alone. And I closed my eyes for a second. And I was like, God help me. What do I do?
For some reason, the video stops here. Fucking
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah, okay, the video stopped, but I'm just like,
Situation is, I know,
I'm just like, how come she's not standing up?
like, I know this.
Like, okay. You know, that I'm just like, the situation is happening, you know, and we know what's happening there. And I understand her story, and I feel for her story of feeling like she has no one to help her. But I also feel like, why does someone have to help her when she had opportunities to just walk out the room?
Are you asking me the question?
No, I'm just saying. Your mic is gone again.
Fuck. Is it back?
No.
Check.
Your mic is on again. No,
Really?
it's not. Your mic is not good. So while Sword works up that mic, I want to pull up this poor Piers Morgan episode really quickly. And let's look at a little bit of it, because
Can you hear
they
me?
talk. You're very staticky right now.
Staticky right now?
Yes, you're staticky.
Check.
Static.
I hate this shit.
Bruce Rivers, let me start with you, because you've been getting great traction with your YouTube channel by exploring every part of the scandal. It really does feel that it's getting bigger and bigger, and is right up there with Epstein, with Weinstein, with these other huge scandals we've seen. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think he's going to go to the prison for the rest of his natural life. The federal guidelines are going to be astronomical. There's so much that they've gotten in the search warrant from Miami and LA. And he's really looking at sex trafficking with a lot of aggravating factors.
Which is the most serious for him?
The abuse, the RICO encompasses all the other statutes. So it's the sex trafficking and then all the other enhancements with that. So guidelines, he's probably looking at it in excess of 300 months. Those are just the guidelines.
I mean, I saw that he, through his lawyers, they put a bail package proposal that included a $50 million bond co-signed by Combs, his mother, and other family members. It was to include home detention, surrender of his passport, weekly drug tests, a visitor log that would be submitted to pretrial services each night. That was rejected. I mean, that in itself said to me just how serious the trouble is for Diddy Combs.
Well, you have a situation where this is a presumptive detention situation. In other words, the defense has to prove, rebut the presumption. And while this is all going on, we have witness tampering, we've got potential bribes of witnesses, and then you also have possession of drugs and ammunition and firearms that are obliterated serial numbers. And then he was on his plane trying to go somewhere earlier in the year. So we have a situation where there's a risk of flight and definitely a danger to the public and a potential obstruction of justice.
Let me turn to Esther on this, because Diddy, I met Diddy a few years ago at a party where he was the absolute cock of the walk. This guy was one of the biggest stars in the world, feted by everyone in the room that night, feted by the paparazzi when he came out. It looked like he was as big as it could get. If it's right, if Bruce is right, he's going to prison for the rest of his life. This is one of the biggest downfalls I can remember in entertainment.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm never satisfied with just one person going down. It's like the whole Epstein thing. We don't actually know anyone who was associated with Epstein, who went to his nonce island, who really got involved in the criminal activity. And I think to be P. Diddy, to do the things that he's being accused of, you have to have a whole team around you. It's an infrastructure, basically. And I just really despise the fact that he's probably going to be the only one that's going to be taken down. He didn't get that powerful just by being by himself. He had the support of politicians, of other wealthy benefactors,
there is a suggestion.
of so many people in the industry.
Right, but
why is he only taking this?
Well, there is a suggestion that he may start talking to the feds and do some kind of deal. Now, Epstein never got the chance to do that or to take that kind of deal, even if he was offered it, because he died, right? He apparently committed suicide. Speculation has run riot ever since that somebody got to him, but that appeared to be the fact that he took his life. But that seemed to silence everything and stop the process moving to other people. But here, if Diddy was to suddenly start going after everyone and naming people, and there are tapes, as many people believe, depicting a lot of other people, famous people involved in this stuff, this could get massively bigger very quickly.
Well, the thing is, so many people knew a lot of things. So like 50 Cent, for example, was very open about his disdain for Puff Daddy, and he used to call him gay all the time. You know, he used to rap about it. Eminem has lyrics in some of his music about, you know, P. Diddy being a raper, for example. There's so many people in the industry. Nicki Minaj, for example, certainly knew some things, particularly about Meek Mill's relationship with P. Diddy. If anyone's heard that horrible tape, you'll know what I'm talking about. So there are these high profile celebrities that certainly saw things. And the question is, how do we incentivize them to speak? Because if they would come forward, then actually, even the other powerful people in the background that are hiding wouldn't be able to hide for much longer. But the question is, how did they do that? How did they incentivize the people who saw things to come forward?
And it might be a complete coincidence, Vinny, but we're already seeing people like Usher and Pink, who were friendly with Diddy Combs. They've deleted a lot of their social media. We don't know why, but it could be coincidence. It looks very like it's not a coincidence. What do you make of the scandal?
Well, Piers, being in the entertainment industry, I left the military, went to Hollywood, acting, and all this whole it's a cult. And I love that she brought up Epstein and how he's apparently dead. Ghislaine Maxwell, she's in prison for 20 some odd years, I guess. Where are all the customers? Where are all the people that were with these girls? You know what I mean, Piers? Where are all the victims? Where are all these people? Not one customer. I know Prince. Andrew? He was obviously he was there. He was with the underage girl. And what was his punishment? I think the Queen, when she was alive, she just relieved him of his royal duties. He couldn't be out in public. But I've seen it firsthand, Piers. These people with this power and this level of influence, they go out with impunity as if they're never going to get caught. All the celebrities love them, and they all knew. Piers, Hollywood's not a big town. The entertainment industry, it's not a big town. Everybody knows who Diddy was. Everybody knows who Harvey Weinstein was, Piers, and everybody knew Epstein and all these people were, and nobody ever said nothing. You have people like Michelle Obama, Barack, everybody praising them. Harvey Weinstein, these people were such great people. All the parties, all the things that people went to, Piers, everybody knew. The recording and the cameras, that's a whole different story together. People claim that Epstein was a part of Mossad recording and blackmailing people. Diddy, imagine how many people are panicking right now that he did it. But one of the main things, Piers, that pissed me off the most is the Usher and the Justin Bieber situation.
Oh my God.
He was on Howard Stern. Usher was on, I believe it was Howard Stern a while ago, and he explained that he went to Puffy's flavor camp at 14 years old. His parents dropped him off with Diddy, and he saw stuff that he said he couldn't believe. 14 years old, Piers. Okay, and God knows what he did with him. There's
and then
stories
he said
about
Justin
him.
Bieber there as well.
Said,
Usher, after having seen that, he also said Justin Bieber there.
Great point. And if the rumors are true, Piers, he brings up Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber has looked like he has been through hell. He was seen with Diddy a couple months ago, and Diddy's patting him down for a while. These people, Piers, are disgusting. They're evil. Thank God Justin Bieber has found God. If he didn't find God, I don't think we'd have him. These people are predators. They're disgusting human beings. It's a cult, Piers, and I hope to God that they find God, because the end game for people like that, Piers, is not good.
Okay, Jason, you know Diddy. You've been at some of these parties. Does what you're reading now shock you, or was it a very wild scene?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I want to be very clear on the conflation between going to a Diddy party and then going to Diddy after dark.
Right.
I said yesterday on a program that, it's like you pass by the door and see a party in an apartment, you go in, you have a drink, and then you go home and realize Jeffrey Dahmer was eating and killing people. People that went to a Diddy party, like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Beyonce, Jay-Z, I don't know if they were at Diddy after dark when people were getting sprayed down with baby oil. What I will say is that, you've heard a lot of things about Diddy over the years, blowing up cars, harassing people, threatening people, having people killed, allegedly, all allegations. But I think Esther made the most important point that all of us are just in the culture figuring out this crisis is, where were all the people who were booking flights, booking hotels, driving people to rooms, knowing what was happening? Why is he in there by himself? Why are nobody speaking out? Why is Usher and Justin Bieber not condemning these rumors? Where is Beyonce and Jay-Z? People
where are they?
Watching this train. People are watching this train wreck happen and just trying not to have the conductor call their name. And that's the problem. And see, the problem that I have is that while we all enjoy the fruit of the industry, if you're eating poisonous fruit, then you need to be a part of that tree that's on its way down too. And the problem with being castrated in public right now, which is what is happening to Diddy, no pun intended, is that he's not given his due process. So on one hand, you're like, let it go through the process. But on the other hand, we have, the energy that the young man just had before me, that they know that this is happening in the industry that is not regulated or not controlled. And who's it going to happen to next?
Yeah. Well, I want to bring in Lord Jamar, American rapper and DJ. someone who knows Diddy Combs well, has been again at some of these parties. Lord Jamar, first of all, your reaction to the sheer scale of charges against Diddy. Are you as stunned as everybody else by this?
Not really, to be honest. And I want to reiterate what Jason said about the regular Diddy parties and the Diddy After Dark. I've been to regular Diddy parties, like in clubs, the PG version. Never been to anything in his home or anything like that, or any After Dark type of stuff. But I'm not really surprised. I've heard rumors about this guy for years.
Yeah, I mean, there were these supposed freak-offs, they were called. These are the other parties that you guys are alluding to, where he distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, so illegal drugs, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant at these freak-offs. The police raided Diddy's house. They found narcotics, 3 AR-15 guns with defaced serial numbers, ammunition, a drum magazine, evidence aligning more, again, with the freak-offs. They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. And again, the indictment alleges that Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in the freak-offs. I mean, Lord Jamar, it all sounds pretty horrific, what was going on to these women at the freak-offs. Were they going there with their eyes wide open to what was going to be happening? Were they caught up in some depravity which only became clear when they got through the door? What do you think was happening here?
I mean, I can only imagine. Like I said, I wasn't there. I think it was probably a combination of the two. Some women went there thinking, oh, you know, we're going to have a freak off. But some of them may have gone there innocently thinking, oh, I'm just going to be around, you know, famous people showing puffy combs. And then he's like, here, have a sip of this. And she doesn't know.
Let me give you some context. Let me give you some context, because I'm gonna just cut straight to it. I have been to the house parties where there have been extra police, or not police, but maybe off-duty police working in security, armed security, shutting down the entire street because there are so many people trying to get in the home. Think about it. Beyonce's on the other side of the gate. Jay-Z's on the other side of the gate. Every major celebrity, the Kardashians, on the other side of the gate. People are trying to get in that party. The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house, to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party. That is the one thing that I thought was odd, because, you know, I came one time with my security and no other security other than Diddy's security is allowed to be inside the building. I mean, I saw Jay-Z and TD Jakes in there. Every major celebrity you can think of who may or may not get along may be on the other side of that gate with no security. And so now, as you see this unfold, my wonder is, well, why weren't people able to have their protection with them when they were in the room? But the one thing I will add that, you know, people don't want to talk about is Diddy is not the only person that has these parties where they have people wrangling a bunch of women and there's nobody carding at the door. There's no regulation, right? And the reason is because these guys want to have a bunch of women around. And what happens when you mix that with a bunch of liquor and other things, when the regular party goes home, what happens after everybody's gone?
Yeah, Bruce,
this is different.
Well, let me, Bruce, I want just to put you the defense from Diddy's lawyer, Mr. Agnifilio. He maintained there's no coercion and no crime. He's not afraid of the charges. And he said he believed that Combs was the target of an unjust prosecution. What's your response to that?
Well, one of the things that we talked about, the people who arrange the flights, the people who arrange this and that, all the people in the chain, those are all going to be witnesses against Diddy. We'll start there. Second of all, he's got terabytes of video all over the place. Thirdly, they've got him on recording, threatening a witness, trying to get them to not come forward and testify. They've got video of him beating a woman, dragging her through, Cassie, dragging her through a hotel. They've got giving IVs to recover. Just the amount, and the key wording here is force, fraud, and coercion. You know, that's the key wording for the sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one thing to have a party with a bunch of ladies and enjoy that. It's quite another thing to keep them there for days until their bruises heal. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a freak off, as it's defined in the indictment, isn't just a party.
No.
It is force, it's fraud, it's coercion. And you're going to see that there won't be a defense to it. His lawyers will take as much money as they possibly can out of him, but the case really will speak for itself.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough of that, but basically that's where we are right now with Diddy's situation.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. And there's a long video.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack. This is a huge situation, but basically,
what's the rest of the video?
Yeah, there's 20 more minutes of the video. Please watch it in your own time. Pierce Morgan, shout out. Everybody on the panel is amazing people as well that are actually involved or connected or just interested in the topic itself. But this is very serious topic that's going on right now, way bigger than we could ever imagine. And I'm actually curious about the avalanche.
Well, my prediction is somebody's gonna kill P. Diddy.
Before he speaks?
Yeah. Same as Epstein. What do you think?
I mean, that is one thing.
If I was
because
working
look,
with Diddy, I'll fucking kill him.
the thing is this, though. Did Epstein have thousands and thousands of data all over the place?
He had
the data.
How many homes he had?
So the guy said he had thousands of terabytes of data. But like, look, here's the thing. You're mentioning you're mentioning that Diddy.
By the way, this is 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you know how much
of these, right? 500
or
of
more,
these, right?
or more, and then you know it depends on the quality too. If it's in 4K, it's not that much video. But if it's in 1080p or anything lower than that, that's a lot of video.
I mean, CCTV is usually 1080p.
Right, that's a lot of video, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
the thing is,
720.
The thing is, you mentioned that Diddy is connected to a lot of different people, right? This whole situation is larger than we think it is, and so I think that with that being said, your prediction of Diddy disappearing, might become true in this because too many people would become victims, and the process, the organization, or whatever that is going on right now would fall apart if these people were put on blast, or if their identities or what they were doing were made public to the public.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with what was the actor? House of Cards.
Yeah, Spacey.
Spacey, yeah. And what happened with Spacey? One guy sued him, and other victims start suing him.
Right.
So
thing is that
P. Diddy was alive.
Yeah, the thing is that for Spacey wasn't making it. Didn't have a huge organization behind him of things going on, right?
No, but I'm just saying what.
Spacey was just, having sex and doing some kind of like predatory things that would be similar to like a R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Or a Bill Cosby, in the sense that the whole thing doesn't really go past the main character, right? But with Diddy's situation, there's a few main characters and there are supporting characters as well. And more than that, there's a whole organization, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. No, what I'm saying is, with Spacey's case, one guy sued, so other victims sued him, right?
Dominoes.
It's like it's a chain reaction domino thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Same thing with P. Diddy. If P. Diddy is alive, it's going to be a fucking domino effect. Chain reaction.
But I think
chain is fucking long.
The thing is, if Diddy starts to speak, and
I'm just saying, I think the victim's going to speak. Then the other victim might come out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's see, because if these victims speak, if they're male, I think a lot of males are scared to speak out, especially if they're sexual victims.
Yeah, if there's one brave guy or one brave girl, whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be a domino effect.
We'll see. I mean, it's been years.
If I was an elite, I'll kill the fucking bastard.
The only way that those victims speak is, they probably have, the reason why we have the information we have now is because people have been speaking here and there, the chef from the party, or that one bodyguard, or that one, you know what I mean? Like, that's the reason why we have.
Cassie's the big card,
But there's been more than Cassie speaking, because, to keep the case going, you have to have some evidence that makes you want to follow the story more. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they definitely have other things that they are following that we don't know about yet, because it's not finalized.
I heard that before his arrest, they had like almost a 10-year investigation.
Yeah, that's normal. That's very normal. Yeah. So anyways, that's the situation. Diddy right now, it's getting heated. It's way bigger than we ever expected.
Yeah, even Suge Knight is saying too, so. Well, let's watch Suge Knight's video.
Suge Knight? Suge Knight?
Put it in the chat. The one from the X.
Yeah. X? Okay.
Yeah, the top one. Remind you, Suge Knight is in prison.
Be careful. The name is Suge. Suge Knight. Not sugar.
Suge Knight. I thought
Yeah.
it was Sugar Knight.
It's Suge Knight.
What's the spell of Suge?
S-U-G-E.
Oh, I thought it was S-U-G-A.
Suge.
Sorry, California. I'm from New York, so sorry.
All right, so this is former record executive Suge Knight revealed to Chris Cuomo that former Interscope Records employee's job was to deliver underage girls
Can you zoom in?
to... Yeah,
There we go. Beautiful.
that's better. It looks better that way anyway. I have my email on the side.
It's just an email.
It's the email. It's to no private data, but yeah. He was deliver underage girls to artists and staff to have sex with them, and claimed Diddy has been involved with the FBI throughout his career. Knight also alleged that the person who helped start Diddy's company with drug money was released from prison by Obama. According to Knight, music industry titans like Clive Davis and Russell Simmons groomed Diddy. Whoa.
Russell
Russell
Simmons. Def
Rest in-
Jam.
he just died like this year too.
No
Which in
wonder.
turn,
No fucking wonder.
which in turn allowed him
Perfect
to
timing to
groom
die.
artists like Usher, Justin Bieber for power and control. That's so interesting to hear that.
Perfect timing to fucking die too, right?
It's interesting to hear that Puffy's senpais are Clive Davis and Russell Simmons. I wouldn't expect that, you know?
I think Sugar was waiting for this timing too.
Suge?
Yeah.
Suge?
Yeah. Sugar. Knight. I'm just going Knight.
Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. Used to work for him. Okay, good. Look. Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. Used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and girls to have sex with employees and other artists. To the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing. How they rated Puffy House for sex trafficking, they rated his friend house for sex trafficking.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He never was an artist.
Sure. Can you say something? Can you say
When
something
you really look
positive?
at the
Suge?
whole situation,
Because you only got
I mean,
60
everything I'm
seconds
saying
left.
is positive. And I got to hand him a call right back.
All right, Suge, you call back. Do
Not
you
gonna happen
think?
like that.
Do you think that
But
Diddy?
he can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality to time versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Good question.
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time. And we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy. So he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. Shit, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. My artist, one of the worst mistakes I could have made was protecting my artist is doing a deal at Interscope. When my artist used to pull up in valet, the Murdoch building, they'd get out, they'd smell like weed. When they clothes smell like weed. When they made it to any office, it would smell like weed. Those guys, for my artists, they introduced cocaine to my artists. So once they got on cocaine, once they got on drugs, once they got on alcohol, and that's when the weird stuff happened. And I think that's what took Puffy down that lane. Then you got to remember, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell.
Simon, come on.
You better believe it. Alcohol, drugs. He compromised his manhood. Because he was taught that. He got Usher as a kid. They never recorded no songs, but alcohol, drugs,
Simon.
sex. Justin Bieber, And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
All right, thanks.
Sugar's
Good night.
preaching.
Your mic is messed up again.
Fuck.
Something's wrong on your side with your mic. It comes in and out.
The hell?
So thanks, Suge Knight, for that insight right there. So we see what's going on here. We understand that, yes, there was the trafficking going on, bringing people to the studio, hiring young people and everything to have sex with them, etc. And he said that around in his team, people were mostly, using weed. They're mostly using weed and stuff. But he said people got out of hand when they were introducing other drugs and alcohol, etc. And then it got people to start doing more crazier things and whatnot. So that's kind of interesting that he brought that point in. And then also, I guess he taught Clive Davis and Russell Simmons groomed Diddy, and he learned about getting power over people by having sex with them and whatnot, and molesting or whatever it might have been. So it's very convoluted and crazy.
I mean, P. Diddy was a victim too.
Your mic.
Fuck. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Peter. Yeah, your mic
Diddy
is
was
just,
a victim too.
He was, and then he became a leader. Your mic is still. Can you fix it again? How about if you just use your laptop mic?
It's gonna sound
just
like
for the last 5 minutes. For the last 5 minutes, we're gonna end soon.
I think I gotta leave the chat.
No, you just click the mic button on the bottom. You see the mic button, and then select the laptop mic.
It doesn't select.
What if you unplug your mic? Is that a USB mic? No, I don't. And what if you unplug your? You can't select your laptop mic. Can you select?
You can't hear me, right?
I can hear you, but you're all staticky.
Staticky.
You're static. You're like in an old radio. Better? Yeah, so Diddy might have been a victim originally from his senpais, right? The Clive Davis and Russell Simmons, but Diddy decided to take that and move forward and become a leader. And he's become the center, the leader of the whole entire thing, it seems like. And he's calling shots from many directions and guiding people in many directions right now. So he is one of the keys to this whole entire establishment now. We're also seeing that, it might have been the case that Usher came in and was seen as one of Diddy's sons in a sense, and Usher was a victim of the situation, it seems like too, but then Usher followed through and brought a new member in, and the person that Usher brought was Justin Bieber. It seems like Justin Bieber decided not to follow through with this whole situation, and he didn't bring anybody in, right? He stepped away from the whole situation, he cleansed himself, came back with a wife, married, and now he's a Christian man, I guess. So this whole situation is convoluted and crazy. We're going to see what happens here. Suge Knight mentions that Diddy has a lot of connections. He's been assisted by many people He's been assisted by many people who come from many high places, right? So there's a good chance that Diddy may find a way out of this whole situation. If he doesn't find a way out of the situation, Diddy might disappear.
He already sentenced, 300 months?
300 months, right.
That's 25 years, by the way.
And the thing is, for Diddy, I'm curious, I don't know, for him, for what his crimes are, it's not going to be safe for him to be in a social prison.
No, but he could have a private custody.
Right, I know. But if he ever is in a social prison, he would be killed so fast.
Oh yeah, because he's a chomo.
Because his crimes are not respected. Certain crimes are respected, but this is not a respectable crime.
No,
and then also
most expensive prison has a PC, so.
Also, he's connected to a lot of people. If someone wants to end him, they'll find a way.
Like Epstein.
So yeah. You have anything to say, bro?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
this
end
show.
it.
I know. Hold
I
on.
want to go ahead and end it. So, if you have anything you want to say,
I wanted to add something. I can't remember.
is this your laptop speaker?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Compared
Really?
to the last one. Compared to the last one, yeah. Compared to the last thing, because the last thing was inconsistent.
Hey,
So,
this mic is not cheap.
just keep it in front of you so you look like you have a mic.
This mic is not cheap.
Just keep it there in the front so you look like you got a mic.
Like this?
You know, yeah. So, okay, you know, but yeah. But yeah, anything you want to say to end this?
Well, I think bunch of I don't know. I'm waiting for Dre to say something.
Okay.
Because Dr. Dre knows Tupac, knows P. Diddy, knows Suge Knight.
Right.
So I'm waiting for him to say something. Because I
thing is that Dre
definitely know he knows something.
The thing is that Dre doesn't usually talk about these things. A lot of people that are here that are connected, they've been silent.
Yo, Suge doesn't fucking talk because he's in prison, and Suge talks.
No. Suge talks in general though.
From prison.
Like Suge talks. Like he has interviews. He has Suge is a person who is not a secret person. What I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Dre
even before prison, right?
Right.
Okay.
Dre is not the person to really speak. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
like you know, Snoop is always speaking. You know, Snoop is in an
true.
interview here and there, whatever. You know, Dre is not the type to speak so often.
Well, I think Dre or Cube might say something.
Cube does speak, but let's see if he wants to be involved because you know he stepped away from a lot of this stuff.
Maybe he stepped away for a reason.
I mean,
well, he stepped away because of the COVID shit.
I mean, he stepped away from this stuff way before that, though.
Yeah,
because he became an actor, remember?
And he didn't want to take the vaccine.
You know,
that's why he stepped away.
He stepped away from a lot of things. So we'll see how this goes. But if this is actually very crazy. That's all I can say.
It's interesting, though. Finally, Pizzagate.
I don't know, like this whole thing, all this music that we've been listening to is all dirty music now.
I mean, I've been a Pizzagate conspiracy guy, so
yeah,
I don't really care.
I don't know if you care about that all this music that we've been listening to has been, you know, but
I mean, most of our music is fucking garbage anyway, so who fucking cares? Right?
Okay. I mean, all that. I mean,
hey, even Fat Joe said this 10 years ago. He said, half of hip hop industry guys are fucking gay.
Yeah, but it's not even
10 years ago.
No, but look it. It's not a problem about being gay right now.
Closet gay.
It's not even about being gay right now. It's all the other shit. That's the horrible shit. Because I'm talking about the reason why I made this video because I feel like this is an emergency situation. It's a horrible situation right now. This is sex trafficking. It's racketeering. It's all these things. People are being hurt. It's horrible, man. And this guy is at the front of it.
And that's why we all should watch the movie Sound of Freedom.
Yes.
To understand the industry, how it works.
Yeah. Are you ready? Are you cool?
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right. Well,
if something comes up, we might do it again. Who knows, right?
We might do it again. But yeah, this is an emergency episode, real quick. Just talk about Diddy real quick. Yeah, go ahead and let us know what you've been following and whatnot. And yes, SunnySword podcast.
Thank you for watching, cocksuckers.
Peace.
Out of a dead chair.
Peace. You can stay right here. Hold up. All right.